Hello everyone, welcome back, and this short video is to guide you through the submission of your learning journal. As we can see, we start in week one with the learning journal. You also see that you can access the learning journals via this quiz function over here, but I would encourage you just to make your submissions through your weekly links here. As you can see, there's not one every week, because we like to give you a little bit of a rest. For example, there's nothing in week 6, and also in week 7 there's nothing, and then we jump back in week 8 and it's actually covering topic 7. The learning journal entries relate to topics and not to weeks. That's why we talk about the lectures for the topics and we talk about the readings for the topics. Now, let's get back to week 1, and we can click on the learning journal topic 1 here. So as you can see there, we've got a little preamble about the purpose of the learning journal. The journal is essentially a thinking and reflecting tool, which is used to record and consolidate your understanding of unit content and skills. Very much it's an affirmation of what you're already learning, an opportunity for you to reflect on what you're learning, and also testing yourself about whether you've really understood and whether you're really able to make a summary of the things that you're reading and listening to in your lectures. So each entry is essentially has the same composition. The 8 reading review entries, the critical entries, each have 3 sections where you identify keywords and concepts for the reading. You summarize the reading and practice a little bit of paraphrasing, and you also critically analyze the reading and the lectures in relation to the topic. Okay. Plus, there are actually 9 entries in total in the learning journey, 8 of which are reading review entries and this element. Plus 1, I think it's week 9, where there is a reflection on Essay 1 feedback, which you submit after you get your Essay 1 feedback from your tutor. You submit your essay at the end of week 6, and so we normally turn around the essays in around a week to 10 days, and then you have a week then to ruminate and think about and question yourself about how you're going to incorporate that feedback into your second essay. And that is exactly what we'd like you to submit in week 9, which is actually a reflection on your Essay 1 feedback and how you plan to use that feedback and incorporate it into other skills and content in preparation for Essay 2. There are 3 sections for each review entry, and there are some hints and descriptors in there. So this is actually dealing with topic 1, learning journal entry. I've actually got a little video here, which is Angela and Kate Kelly, Angela Jones and Kate Kelly, discussing how a journal entry is born, if you like. It's one that Kate Kelly herself wrote, and I will actually put up a PDF of an example that Kate developed for us. But here is a video of Kate and Angela discussing Kate's process of getting a complete learning journal entry together. You see, she's broken it down into individual questions, but those questions here are actually really split across these sections. The first is identify keywords and concepts, summarize the reading and practice paraphrasing, and critically analyze one reading. What we've done, we've taken essentially 7 elements and we've split them we've got 1 element here, 1 element here, and there are 5 elements summarized together into one entry. We did it like that really because it's far easier for you to put into 3 boxes rather than 7 boxes, and also it makes it much easier for us to get feedback back to you in 3 logical sections instead of 7 sections. As you can see from your unit information and learning guide in the assessment summary there, you can see that we've broken this down as well still further. But I certainly encourage you to watch this video. And once you've watched the video, then you can attempt the quiz. So you just click on Attempt Quiz Now, And you can see then, as I said before, we've got one question, two questions, and this one is the larger one. We've broken this down into sections A, B, C, D, and E. And then the final one is the critical reflection. Okay, so we've got 3 questions per entry. So you can literally identify 3 keywords and 2 concepts linked to the idea of student stories. And I'll just type a little gibberish in there. You can, once you've done that, this could be in the form of bullet points. We're not looking for a long entry here. We're looking for just 3 keywords and 2 concepts, so it can be quite brief. And again, watching the video really helps there, and looking at Kate's example entry as well. So one's a little bit more involved, and we address this by dealing with each one in turn. So I'd like you in your entry to deal with point A, and then deal with point B, and then deal with point C, etc. Okay, and down to point E. Now what you can do is, I think there's something like a 30-minute timeout on this before the page freezes and so. So what you can do is either compose these offline and then cut and paste them in, and you have the right then, you can also make things in italics, for example, when it comes to you doing appropriate referencing in Chicago, and you can bold things, you can change the paragraph, etc. So you can be quite creative as well in your return. So we don't require you to be particularly creative, but if you choose that to present your information in a more creative way, then we're very open to that. All right, and then the third topic, then you write in here, and you can write something in there. Oh, my screen's just gone very big, excuse me. And if I click next, it will say that my answer's been saved, so I can come back into this and finish this at any time. So I can actually go backwards now and look at maybe, I can go back into this at any time. It doesn't have to be just right now. And then I've got one attempt in progress. I can continue my last attempt, and you can see what I've written in there has been saved, and I'm able to go in and edit. When I'm ready to submit it, it's all my answers are saved. I'm happy with what I've written. I can submit all and finish. And it says once you submit, you will no longer be able to change your answers, right? So if I think, oh no, I'd like to have one more read, I just click cancel, and I can return to my attempt. Okay, and every time you click next, it'll give you that option. And if you don't, so it already has been saved, and so you can either go backwards or come back and review it another time. But when you're ready, you click submit all and finish, and you will then have submitted it. So once you get to this point, there's no going back. Once you click this button, there's no going back. All right, and then your tutor will be able to then mark it and give you some feedback, which is what it's all about. I'd really like you to complete these at the end of every week. The weeks really run from a Monday to the Sunday, so sometime maybe on the weekend would be great, and then we'll get the feedback back to you within a week. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at the unit overall. As you can see that there are the Learning Journal topic 2. It's very similar, attempt the quiz. So for this entry, again, it's 3 sections. Identify keywords and concepts, summarize the readings and practice paraphrasing, and analyze one reading and lecture in relation to the topic. So we're always focused on the topic, not the week. Okay, so attempt the quiz. And exactly this, you notice it's exactly the same format. What we've done here is nominate the reading that you're going to do anyway. I would suggest that you, in fact, not suggest, I would nominate that you do the reading review for the required reading for each week. Required reading is Warren. Yeah, the required reading is Hobson. Okay. If you do choose to do a different reading, I mean, that's fine. But obviously, if you focus on the required readings, then you're probably saving yourself a little bit of work there. Again, if you're very, as I said in the earlier video, if you're very engaged and you have the time within your schedule to read the additional readings, which we call the required readings, excuse me, the recommended readings, For example, Vivekananda and Shaw's, which is the reading review that Kate and Angela discussed in their video, then that's great. All right. So, in review, watch the video, complete each section. When you're happy and you've covered off provided the full bibliographic details for the Andreessen reading in Chicago style. So week 1 is Andreessen, week 2 is North Edge. After that, it becomes a little bit more flexible. What's the thesis? Summarize the Andreessen reading and include 2 correctly referenced quotations and complete a paraphrase. Okay. Now we'll be discussing all of these ideas in the tutorial sessions. Okay, so we click next. Am I sure? Yes, I am. Submit all. I'll submit all and finish. And then I'm able to review, but it's now locked. So the total time taken, we're not really looking at this because some people spend a lot of time looking and then compose offline. So, and all of this is also available in the Unit Information and Learning Guide and the assessment section of the website. So don't be too worried about this. And there's the date that it was completed. Okay. And if you need an extension to any of these, then please ask in advance to your tutor. Okay. So all the best, and looking forward to reading your work.